everybody. We are tied for number one in the NFL right now. And we have to hold this team to that standard. And we have to make them realize that this is what we expect. We're not training wheels done been off. It was a
Yeah.
long ass time ago, but we've won a Super Bowl. There is no excuse not to be able to do that again. And that's my point is this team needs to be held to a higher standard.
Yeah.
Everybody from Woody Johnson down to the guy that's cleaning one Jets drive need to understand that we expect absolute 110% from every single person that has a badge that says New York Jets on it.
Exactly.
Period.
When we start, even as a fan base, when we start expecting to look like a double digit win team every season, that's when I think the narrative that we, are kind of pushing changes. And I'll say we as a collective. I'm not going to talk about you and I, Jim, because I believe that you and I, even though we differ on certain things, I think that some of the things that we do agree on are some of the most important. The fact of the matter
Core value.
is that, yeah, well, I mean, the fact is that, we may disagree on how we expect to get there, but we do agree on the fact that it should be pretty far behind what the expectation of pretty far beyond the expectation that some of these folks have when we're talking about 4 or 5 win team. I don't think that makes sense, and you just outlined why it is that you don't believe it makes sense either. And I just say this: if when October, November rolls around, right, and the wild card picture doesn't even have us in that little section at the bottom saying, still not mathematically eliminated, that bodes well for us. I think that is something to strive for, something that the expectation is that we should shoot for. And I say that when we're talking about 10 wins, 11 wins, if you look at the schedule, it's possible, right? If you look at the schedule, there are going to be teams that we're going to match up well against. And this is not saying they're going to match up against what it is that we did last year at 2-14. This is not saying that we are going to match up against what it is that they did last year, coming from the position of being 2-14. It's not going to be an end of the season where we're talking about, if we possibly maybe beat the Rams or the Raiders when, last season we were hoping and praying. Well, hold on, not all of us, but there were some of us that was hoping and praying that we lost, those games. And it's just weird because my brother sent me a meme the other day, and I'm gonna try to get my brother on. He's a really smart guy. Guys in the Jets Hub, him, Ben Jackson. Anyways, he reached out. He sent me this meme, and I think, Jimmy, I showed it to you first. It was the Trevor Lawrence as Flash Gordon, right? He had the Flash Gordon card. It was Trevor Lawrence with the golden locks and the whole thing. And this is before we'd actually won that second game, and it was still possible for us at that point that Trevor Lawrence was going to be a Jet, and that kind of broke me a little bit because between now and then, the expectation is so completely different that, you know what I'm saying? And the one thing that changed it was really just my attitude. I don't think that the players in particular think any of that thing, that really didn't make the difference for me. I think the difference is seeing how everything has kind of unfolded and kind of shaken out. Do you think we'd be, you know what? Let me ask this question because this is important. Zach Wilson, are we sold or not?
I am.
Okay.
I was sold months ago.
Hey, look, the reason why I'm even asking that is because I think that a lot of folks, are still kind of in that Justin Fields. Excuse me. Yeah. Because there was a lot of questions about, if Justin Fields was actually the guy. And I know you and I, we talked about this initially because I know you weren't a Fields guy in the beginning, and then you go back and you watch the film and you kind of see where it is that maybe, he can be successful. Watching Zach is yeah, and that I think is what it is. And you know what? We talk about this all the time. I think system matters for everyone, right?
Sure.
System matters for everyone. I just think that where it is that Justin Fields is at now, I think is a better situation for him. I think Trey Lance probably has the best situation going forward.
Oh, 100%.
But I actually think that when it shakes out, I think those two guys are going to be 1 and 2 as being the best. And I do mean Trey Lance and Zach Wilson. I think that those two guys are just going to outshine the competition.